Jason Chaffetz is a Republican senator from Utah, and he's known as one of the Tea Party guys, one of the most right-wing guys out there. So, of course, he's going to obstruct Hillary Clinton in every way he can. Remember when Barack Obama got elected, he said, let's look forward, let's not look backward, because he's a Democrat. So he said, let's not prosecute any of the crimes of the Bush administration, whether it was war crimes or it was the warrantless wiretapping, which is an obvious violation of law. I'm not going to hold people at the CIA, the NSA responsible, and I'm certainly not going to hold people responsible who made the actual decisions, Rumsfeld, Cheney, Bush, etc. Let's just look forward. Let's be nice guys. Now, let's see if the Republicans are going to return the favor. If Hillary Clinton becomes president, will they just look forward and not look backward? Well, let's go to Jason Chaffetz. He says about investigating Hillary Clinton, quote, it's a target-rich environment. Even before we get to day one, we've got 2 years' worth of material already lined up. She has 4 years of history at the State Department, and it ain't good. Now, look, if you say you are unhappy with the Justice Department or the FBI's investigation of Hillary Clinton and her emails, I hear you. I didn't think that it was done in the best way that it could have been done. I disagreed with it in parts. But we don't get to relitigate that case. We don't get to go, okay, all right, well, I didn't like the way the FBI handled that. Okay, now let's do it again and again and again. That's not how the American system works. So the Republicans go, no, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing investigations. This is the guy who ran all the Benghazi investigations. Not all of them, a lot of them. So that was partly his committee. They had 9 Benghazi investigations overall, the Republicans did. Every one of them said she didn't break the law. In essence, she didn't do anything wrong. If they thought they did, they would have run like crazy, big waved the flag. Oh, yeah. They did it anyway. At the convention, they talked all about it, even though 9 of their own committees said she didn't break the law. When they asked for help, they actually got it. Oops. Oops, we totally wasted your taxpayer money on a witch hunt, right? But they don't care, because it's not like not getting the result they want is a problem. They just want to hassle her. They want to harangue her. And when I say her, I mean all the Republicans want to do it to all the Democrats so that they can't get anything done. That's the actual objective, to make sure that you obstruct no matter what. He says now he's threatening her nominees. If Hillary Clinton brings in the same gang, Loretta Lynch, Cheryl Mills, Huma Abedin, Jake Sullivan, she has her cast of characters. If they put on the same play, she's not going to get good reviews from the critics. Every single time we turn around, this puzzle gets more complicated with more pieces to it. So it's one thing when Bernie Sanders says, hey, we worked together. I helped you win this election, and I had all these votes from your party, and you promised a progressive platform, so let's work together to make that progressive platform happen because you're supposed to be progressive. It's another thing for one of the most extreme guys in the opposite party to say, no, I'm picking your staffers. I say no to all your staffers, and I'm going to investigate you from day one. Right or wrong, I don't care. I'm going to relitigate everything like we always do. The 9 Benghazi investigations led to nothing. They tried to repeal Obamacare 55 times. I've lost track. It might now be higher than 55. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't want the government to work. I'm just going to throw a monkey wrench into it. Okay. He says, if they continue to erect walls and shore up the turrets, then yeah, it's going to be a battle. But if they act like they're supposed to, if they comply with subpoenas and actually respond to requests from Congress, well, our republic requires that. Subpoenas on what? You already had a Justice Department investigation. Nope, no, new subpoenas. What is it on? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. We're Republicans. It doesn't matter. We're going to subpoena her. We're going to investigate her on day one. Well, she didn't do anything yet. I don't care. I don't care. And so the corporate media, what will they say? Both sides do it. No, both sides don't do it. Obama didn't do it at all when arguably he had a fantastic case to make on behalf of the American people. Here, they admit they have no case. They're like, I don't know, we already investigated it. Who cares? We relitigate everything. What am I putting a subpoena on her for? I don't know and I don't care. I'm just going to fight her and I'm going to do nonsense. And corporate media on CNN, he said, she said. Republicans say this, Democrats say, I can't tell anything. Well, what am I supposed to do? Cover the news, right? So, but now, that's one part of the story. The other part of the story is Jason Chaffetz is a tough guy. He likes to push Hillary Clinton around and Democrats around. Oh, yeah, I'm Tea Party. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm tough. I'm going to go get her. I'm going to do the battle. I'm going to do subpoenas. Yeah, she will comply, right? But when it turns out it's Donald Trump pushing him around, they're not so tough. You're going to enjoy this. First, let's remember that Jason Chaffetz, just a couple of weeks ago, was one of the loudest voices unendorsing Donald Trump. And he was emphatic. Let's listen to Jason Chaffetz.
I'm out. I can no longer endorse Donald Trump for president. There's no possible way I vote for Hillary Clinton, but these are abhorrent. They are wrong. To use a baseball metaphor, I got to call balls and strikes the way I see them. And, you know, my wife, Julie, and I, we got a 15-year-old daughter. Do you think I can look her in the eye and tell her that I endorse Donald Trump for president when he acts like this? And his apology, that was no apology. That was an apology for getting caught.
Oh, his 15-year-old daughter. He cannot disappoint her. And remember, Jason Chaffetz is so strong. But wait, I'm not done yet. Let's have him tell you more about it. It's a matter of morality, man. Nobody can endorse this guy. You can't. Go ahead, Jason. Tell us more about it.
So I'm not going to put my good name and reputation and my family behind Donald Trump for president when he acts like this. I just can't do it.
Is there anything, Congressman, that he can say in this videotape statement that is coming out at any moment that can change things for you or that can redeem him among the voters?
I don't know. I don't know, but I worry that it'd be naive to think if there's this and that sort of approach, you really think this is the only thing that's out there like this? I can't tell the good people of Utah that I endorse a person who acts like this. I think we should all stand up and say we're not going to tolerate this. Why should we have a race to the bottom? Why can't we stand tall for high moral values?
We should all stand up and say we are not going to tolerate this. Let me read you his tweet from today. I will not defend or endorse Donald Trump, but I am voting for him. Hillary Clinton's that bad. Hillary's bad for the USA. Backpedal. What happened to your 15-year-old daughter? What happened to you will not put your good name, reputation, and family on the line by supporting a guy like this? No, you will stand up and not tolerate him because you're a strong Tea Party principled conservative, right? Now, all of a sudden, it's not going well for you, and Donald Trump has a lot of supporters in your party. You created that monster, and they're rising up against you, and all of a sudden you're like, sorry, Donald, sorry. You remember Planet of the Apes when the inferior apes, the beta males, go like this to the alpha male? Like, I'm so sorry. You pathetic little man. And you think you're so tough pushing Democrats around? And it's, Trump, I'm going to stand up to him. I'm sorry. Bitch. The Young Turks isn't just us. It's also you guys. You make this show possible. And we want to thank you for it. And we want to grow together. We want to be too strong. TYTnetwork.com/join. Let's do it.